The Trypillians, one of Europe's earliest advanced civilizations, built massive settlements and pioneered agriculture and pottery over 7,000 years ago. Their society, possibly matriarchal, mysteriously burned villages every few decades before eventually disappearing around 3000 BCE. Centuries later, the Scythians, fierce nomadic warriors, dominated the Ukrainian steppes with their horseback archery and gold-filled burial mounds. They resisted invasions, including one from Persian King Darius I, and practiced unique rituals involving cannabis and elaborate funerals. By the 2nd century BCE, the Scythians declined due to pressure from the Sarmatians and other invaders. Despite their disappearance, both civilizations left a lasting impact on Ukraine's culture and identity. Let's travel to the history. Imagine standing on the vast, fertile plains of what we now call Ukraine, over 7,000 years ago. The air is fresh, carrying the scent of the Dnipro River, and all around you are rolling fields stretching into the horizon. In the distance, you see something remarkable, a massive settlement, larger than anything you would expect from this ancient time. This is the world of the Trypillians, one of the most mysterious and advanced Neolithic cultures in Europe. They lived in enormous villages, some of which were home to 10,000 to 15,000 people, making them some of the largest settlements in the world at that time, even bigger than some cities in Mesopotamia or Egypt. The Trypillians weren't just simple farmers. They were pioneers of civilization. They cultivated wheat, barley, and peas, using primitive but effective plows. The women, skilled in pottery, crafted beautiful ceramic vessels, often painted with intricate geometric patterns in red, black, and white. These patterns weren't just for decoration, they might have carried spiritual significance, representing the cosmic order or the cycles of nature. Life in a Trypillian village was well organized. The houses were made of wood and clay, arranged in circular formations, possibly for religious or defensive purposes. Inside the homes, there were clay ovens, storage areas, and places for worship. But what truly sets the Trypillians apart is their strange ritual of destruction, every 60 to 80 years. They would burn their entire village to the ground and move to a new location. Why? Theories range from religious beliefs to soil depletion or simply a method of starting anew. Their society was likely matriarchal, meaning women played a key role in leadership and religious life. Clay figurines of fertility goddesses have been found in their settlements, suggesting that they worshipped mother goddesses, symbolizing fertility and the renewal of life. By 3000 BCE, something changed. The grand Trypillian settlements started to fade from history. Was it due to climate change? Were they overrun by warlike nomads? No one knows for sure. Some historians believe that the Trypillians were gradually absorbed by other migrating peoples, leaving behind only their ruins and artifacts, silent witnesses to a civilization that once thrived. Fast forward a few thousand years. The peaceful Trypillians are long gone, and a new people dominate the landscape, the Scythians. Imagine yourself in the vast grasslands of Ukraine, around 700 BCE. You hear the distant sound of thundering hooves, and suddenly, over the horizon, a group of warriors on horseback appears. Their bows drawn, their golden armor gleaming in the sunlight. These are the Scythians, fierce nomads who controlled the steppe for centuries. The Scythians were masters of horseback archery, able to shoot their enemies even while galloping at full speed. Their entire way of life revolved around their horses. They lived in mobile camps, using wagons covered in felt to transport their homes. Unlike the Trypillians, they didn't build permanent settlements. They roamed the vast plains, always ready to fight, hunt, or trade. One of the most fascinating aspects of Scythian culture was their obsession with gold. They buried their kings and warriors in massive burial mounds called kurgans, filling them with golden artifacts, weapons, and even the bodies of sacrificed horses and servants. Some of the most intricate gold jewelry ever discovered comes from these tombs: bracelets, helmets, and pectorals decorated with mythical creatures, warriors, and scenes of battle. One of the greatest Scythian treasures ever found is the golden pectoral of Tovsta Mohyla, a breathtaking chest ornament made entirely of gold, depicting scenes of daily life, warriors, and animals in stunning detail. The Scythians also had a unique form of warfare. Instead of massive battles, they preferred hit-and-run tactics, using their speed and skill with bows to harass enemies before vanishing into the grasslands. Even the mighty Persian King Darius I of the Achaemenid Empire failed to defeat them. In 513 BCE, he led a massive army against the Scythians, but they simply retreated deeper into the steppe, using the harsh landscape to their advantage. The Scythians had a fascinating belief system, heavily influenced by shamanistic and animistic traditions. They worshipped a pantheon of gods, with their chief deity being Tabidi, the goddess of fire and hearth. They also worshipped Pape, the god of the sky, and Api, the mother goddess of the earth. One of the most shocking aspects of Scythian culture was their ritual use of cannabis. Ancient Greek historian Herodotus wrote that the Scythians would throw cannabis seeds onto hot stones in a tent, inhaling the smoke in what can only be described as an ancient sauna-like ritual. He claimed they would shout in joy as they inhaled the vapors, believing it brought them closer to the spirit world. Their burial rituals were equally intense. When a Scythian king died, his body was embalmed and placed in a large kurgan, along with his best horses, warriors, and sometimes even his wives and servants, who were sacrificed to accompany him into the afterlife. For centuries, the Scythians ruled the steppes, feared and respected by their neighbors. But no empire lasts forever. By the 4th century BCE, a new threat emerged: the Sarmatians, another powerful nomadic group. Unlike the Scythians, the Sarmatians had armored cavalry and began pushing their rivals out of their traditional lands. The final blow came in the 2nd century BCE, when pressure from new invaders, the Goths and Huns, forced the remaining Scythians to retreat to the Crimean Peninsula. By the time of the Roman Empire, the once mighty Scythians had faded into obscurity, their golden treasures buried beneath the earth, waiting for modern archaeologists to uncover their secrets. From the Trypillians, who built some of the first great European settlements, to the Scythians, the fierce warriors of the steppe, Ukraine has been home to some of the most fascinating and powerful ancient cultures. Both of these civilizations, though vastly different, shaped the land, its people, and its history. The Trypillians left behind a legacy of agriculture, art, and mysterious rituals, while the Scythians left us their golden treasures and legends of fearless warriors, even though they vanished from history. Their influence can still be seen today in Ukrainian culture, folklore, and even the national identity. Their legacy reminds us that Ukraine has always been a land of strength, resilience, and mystery, a land where civilizations rose, thrived, and left their mark on history.